There is a place on the northeastern edge of America where the land does not simply end, but transforms, where mountains rise quietly from the sea and the Atlantic whispers stories carried across centuries. Welcome to Bar Harbor, a coastal town in Maine that feels less like a destination and more like a passage into something timeless. As the first light of dawn breaks over the horizon, the sky slowly awakens in shades of amber and rose. The waters remain still, like glass, reflecting the silhouettes of fishing boats gently drifting in the harbor. The air is crisp, touched by salt and pine, and carries a silence that feels almost sacred. This is not just a place you visit. This is a place you feel. Bar Harbor lives in harmony with the ocean. Everything here, its people, its culture, its stories, flows with the rhythm of the tides. The Atlantic is not calm in the way tropical seas are. It is alive, powerful, unpredictable. Waves roll in with a steady confidence, crashing softly against rocky shores that have stood for thousands of years. Walk along the coastline and you will hear it, the deep, echoing breath of the ocean. Gulls circle above, their cries blending with the wind. In the distance, lobster boats cut across the water, their presence a reminder that this town is still rooted in tradition. Fishing is not just an industry here, it is a way of life. Generations of families have worked these waters, rising before sunrise, guided only by instinct and experience. Lobster traps are pulled from the depths, one by one, revealing the ocean's quiet bounty. And as the day unfolds, the harbor begins to stir. Small shops open their doors. Cafes fill with the scent of fresh coffee and warm pastries. Visitors wander through the streets, drawn by the charm that Bar Harbor wears so effortlessly. But beyond the town itself lies something even more extraordinary. Just beyond Bar Harbor begins one of America's most breathtaking natural landscapes, Acadia National Park. Here, nature reveals its raw, untouched beauty. Acadia is not a park you simply see. It is a place you experience with every sense. Granite cliffs rise sharply above the ocean. Forests stretch endlessly across rolling hills, and lakes shimmer quietly beneath open skies. At sunrise, something magical happens. At the summit of Cadillac Mountain, the first rays of sunlight touch the United States before anywhere else on the East Coast. People gather in silence, wrapped in blankets, waiting for that single moment when darkness gives way to light. And when it comes, it feels unforgettable. The sky ignites in color. Gold, orange, and pink spill across the horizon. The ocean glows, the mountains breathe. For a moment, everything stands still. Acadia is a land of trails, paths that wind through forests, climb mountains, and trace the edges of cliffs overlooking the sea. Each trail tells a different story. Some are gentle, like the peaceful paths around Jordan Pond, where the water reflects the sky so perfectly it feels like stepping into a painting. Others are more challenging, like the famous Precipice Trail, a steep climb that rewards the brave with views that stretch endlessly into the horizon. As you walk, you begin to notice the details. The crunch of leaves beneath your feet, the scent of pine carried by the wind, the distant sound of waves echoing through the trees. Wildlife moves quietly through this landscape. Deer appear without warning, pausing only for a moment before disappearing into the forest. Birds glide effortlessly above, their wings cutting through the air with quiet grace. Here, time slows down, and in that stillness, you begin to reconnect with nature, with the world, and perhaps even with yourself. Back in Bar Harbor, life continues at a different pace. The streets are lined with historic buildings, each with its own story to tell. Wooden facades painted in soft colors, Flower boxes overflowing with blooms, small bookstores, art galleries, and family-owned restaurants that have been part of the town for decades. There is a warmth here that feels genuine. Locals greet visitors with a smile. Conversations happen easily, whether you're ordering a meal or simply passing by. There is no rush, no urgency, just a shared appreciation for the beauty of this place. Food plays an important role in the Bar Harbor experience. Fresh seafood is everywhere, especially lobster. Served in rolls, soups, or simply steamed and dipped in butter, it is as authentic as it gets. Every bite carries the flavor of the ocean itself, and as evening approaches, the town transforms once again. Lights glow softly from windows. The harbor reflects the colors of sunset. The air cools, inviting you to slow down, breathe deeply, and take it all in. When the sun disappears beyond the horizon, Bar Harbor reveals another side of its beauty. The night sky here is something special. Far from the noise and light of big cities, the stars shine with incredible clarity. Constellations stretch across the sky, and on certain nights, the Milky Way becomes visible, an endless river of light flowing above the quiet town. Sit by the water, and you will hear only the gentle movement of waves. The world feels distant. Time feels irrelevant. In these moments, Bar Harbor becomes more than just a place. It becomes a feeling of peace that stays with you long after you leave. Bar Harbor is not defined by a single moment. Its beauty evolves with the seasons. In summer, the town is alive with energy. Boats fill the harbor, trails are busy with hikers, and the air carries warmth and excitement. In autumn, everything changes. The forests of Acadia transform into a masterpiece of color, reds, oranges, and yellows blending together in a breathtaking display. The air becomes crisp, and every step feels like walking through a living painting. Winter brings silence. Snow covers the landscape, softening every edge. The town becomes quiet, almost hidden, as if resting beneath a blanket of white. Only the most devoted travelers venture here during this time, rewarded with solitude and untouched beauty. And then, spring arrives. The snow melts, the forests awaken. Life returns once again, beginning a new cycle that has continued for generations. Bar Harbor's history is deeply connected to the ocean. Long before it became a popular destination, this region was home to Native American tribes who lived in harmony with the land and sea. Later, it grew into a fishing community, sustained by the rich waters of the Atlantic. In the late 19th century, Bar Harbor became a retreat for America's elite. Wealthy families built grand summer homes here, drawn by the cool climate and stunning scenery. Though many of those estates are gone today, their legacy remains in the architecture, in the culture, and in the quiet elegance that still defines the town. The sea has always been at the center of it all. It has provided, shaped, and inspired, and it continues to do so every single day. There are places in the world that you visit and then forget. Bar Harbor is not one of them. It stays with you. In the sound of waves you remember long after you've left. In the feeling of standing on a mountain as the sun rises. In the quiet moments where nothing needs to be said, it is not just the beauty that makes this place special. It is the way it makes you feel, grounded, peaceful, connected. As the final light of day fades over the harbor, the town grows quiet once more. Boats rest gently on the water. The wind moves softly through the trees, and somewhere in the distance, the ocean continues its endless rhythm. Bar Harbor does not ask for attention. It does not demand to be seen. It simply exists, beautiful, timeless, and waiting. And perhaps that is why it leaves such a lasting impression. Because in a world that is constantly moving, Bar Harbor reminds us what it means to slow down, to breathe, to feel, and to truly experience the beauty of the world around us. In Bar Harbor, rain is not an interruption, it is a transformation. Clouds gather slowly over the Atlantic, turning the sky into layers of gray and silver. The sunlight fades, and the colors of the town soften into something more subdued, more reflective. Then the rain begins. At first, it is only a whisper, tiny drops touching the surface of the ocean, creating ripples that spread outward like quiet thoughts. But soon, it becomes steady, rhythmic, almost musical. The streets grow quieter. Footsteps slow down. Visitors take shelter under awnings or inside small cafes, watching the world shift beyond the glass. And in that moment, Bar Harbor feels even more intimate. The scent of wet wood and salt air fills the atmosphere. The forests of Acadia National Park deepen in color, every leaf glistening with fresh rain. Trails become softer, the ground absorbing each drop like a living canvas. Out along the coastline, the ocean changes its tone. Waves grow heavier, darker, more deliberate. The horizon blurs into the sky and everything feels vast, endless, mysterious. But there is no chaos here. Only calm, only presence. Because in Bar Harbor, even the rain feels like it belongs.